Welcome to the Some Kind of Mystic podcast, where we dive deep into the mystical and magical and the downright miraculous. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome someone who brings a unique blend of wisdom, humor, and high vibe energy to the world of manifestation. None other than Andy Dooley. If you don't already know Andy, he's the co-founder of Tut.com, the mastermind between vibration activation and the creator of the Manifestors Cafe, a space where deliberate creators learn to accelerate their dreams into reality. He's a manifestation coach, a law of attraction expert, and a spiritual comedian who makes even the deepest spiritual concepts feel light, accessible, and dare I say, fun. I had the pleasure of spending some time with and working with Andy last October in Boulder, Colorado, where he brought his incredible motivational and comedic stylings as the MC for a full-day channeling intensive with Vagrian. He lit up the room with his infectious energy and deep insights, making the experience even more powerful for everyone involved. Today, we're diving into his journey, his wisdom, and his newest ebook, The 5 Mistakes Manifestors Make and How to Fix Them, which you can grab for free at andydooley.com. So settle in, open your heart, and get ready for an inspiring, high-vibe conversation with the one and only Andy Dooley. So welcome to the show, Andy. I'm not even going to go into sort of all the pre-show stuff because I feel like you're a spontaneous person and we can just run with this.
Yeah, we can totally run with it. And I do have some stories and some cool tools to share with the audience that I think would help them find their alignment, get out of their own way, and become the most amazing, beautiful, divine being they could possibly be.
How exciting is that? That's awesome. That's great. First, though, since the Some Kind of Mystic podcast is kind of like the mystical origin story film, it's like the prequel, right, to the film that anybody might know if they've known you a little bit. And sort of the intention with the Some Kind of Mystic podcast is to tell the listeners that, people that they perceive of as whatever it is they perceive of us as are also on a journey, are also on a spiritual journey, have also had the spiritual bumps and lumps and the before spirituality and the after spirituality, if that is even a thing. Honestly, I don't know if it is. But
right.
Basically, were you ever a regular, normal, everyday guy?
No way.
Okay, so you're not like one of my guests who comes on and they used to work in investment banking, for example. No.
Right. I felt very unique and weird and different from the beginning, but I'm still very human. And, we have an ego, personality that wants to be liked and loved, and finding my voice and who am I and wanting to fit in and being the misfit. So I've had all, of course, those experiences and heartbreak and all that stuff. Yeah.
Were you always into sort of, well, I guess you'd be into sort of mysticism and esotericism and also self-empowerment type of things? Was this always sort of what lit you up, what you're passionate about? Have you always been a master of it? Can we call you a master of it?
Yes, I am a master of mistakes. Yeah, so I was fortunate that I had a mother, a father, a brother, and a sister who were into the spiritual woo stuff. And so I was introduced as a teenager to a book by Florence Scovel Shinn called The Game of Life and How to Play It, and other books by Richard Bach, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, Illusions. And those books kind of cracked open the door when I was a teenager to say, wait a minute, it's not the black and white reality that we think it is. We're actually creating this reality. And if you think better thoughts, if you have a vision, you can line up with that vision and live a very different life. But even though I had that information, I still, I screwed up so many times, it's ridiculous.
You're an experimenter. You experimented so many times.
Yes, many experiments with, and reading the book. So my mom stumbled upon the Seth material channeled by Jane Roberts. And so my parents got a divorce, and then so was my mother and my sister and my brother and me, and we would do a Ouija board, and, we'd be like, do we have a spirit? And we had the wine glass upside down with the letters of the alphabet, Scrabble letters in a circle. And it was fascinating to be getting these messages from the other side. Of course, my sister's asking, like, who am I going to marry? What's he like? Yeah, but the whole mystical blending the physical us with the non-physical the angels, the spirits, the higher self, all that stuff is so awesome and amazing that we now, like, I mean, these kinds of conversations are happening every day on the internet, on YouTube, on podcasts, on TikTok. And it's amazing that more and more people have access so they don't think they're the weirdo anymore.
Yeah, it is brilliant. And so it's great that your story is that you were kind of accepting of all these things even in your teenage years. You didn't have to go through those scenarios where, you know, these impulses come to you and then you're like, oh my God, you know, am I crazy? Is there something wrong with me? You knew you were crazy from an early age in terms of this sort of stuff, and it was accepted in your household with the people that you love. And so it was maybe an easier journey in terms of that. But you have had, like you said, your human experiences, and you have been an experimenter. But a unique thing about you that I got to know when we got to spend some time together in Colorado is that you're like one of the most positive people and always looking for the shiny, bright object of, you know, this now moment, and the way to make it even more awesome and the way to add even more sparkle and excitement to each moment. So was that something that was always part of your character, or is that something that came on slowly or that you had to allow over a period of time? Has that always been something about you that has been present?
I think it has been there, and I think it's in everybody, but I was able to cultivate it kind of at a younger age. My father was a very successful insurance salesman, and so he picked me up from school and he'd be listening to Earl Nightingale, The Stranger's Secret. And I'd be like, turn that crap off, you know, like let's listen to some music. But I just had a desire as I moved through life, because I could see that so many people didn't even know the power of their thoughts. Because I had read one of Florence Scovel Shinn's book was Your Word is Your Wand. And I was like, and then I read about the power of your word and the power of your thoughts. And so I was very mindful of the thoughts I was choosing. And I could hear my friends and other people saying things that were like, oh my God, you shouldn't say that. And so I was quick to be like, frame it this way, look at it this way. What if this is actually a good thing instead of a bad thing? And then after I did years of improv comedy, you know, you look for the magic. How can you turn this into something great? You know, how can you find the silver lining? So I think my wiring just started looking for the magic, for the fun, for the laughter in all situations. And so now it's become really annoying to negative people.
Yeah, I was about to frame it differently. I was going to say you're an expert at uplifting those who want to be uplifted. And that is sort of what one of your gifts is, your gift of comedy, your gift of helping people, like the tools that you said you were going to offer, helping people to find where it is. They can be a little bit more open to that good feeling that, like you said, you do feel is in people, even if they're in a dark space or they are going through something. Because, you know, I don't feel you to be someone who's like toxic positivity either. You know, you have a very grounded approach to, okay, we are going to be realistically positive, but the reality is that it is positive, which is very different than I'm going to erase my reality of what I actually believe is negative and just like plaster a whole bunch of positive stuff on top of it. Because there's a deep knowing in you as well that actually, yeah, even the hardships, it's okay. Even the pain or, you know, that heartbreak or whatever it is, like that's good too. There's something to milk out of that. And that definitely comes through you, though I think it's a subtle difference that maybe some people don't necessarily see when they come upon positivity. So those same people that you're pissing off by, you know, the negative people that don't really want to raise their vibration, maybe they've been rubbed the wrong way by certain flavors of the positivity type of movement, and haven't quite found that there's this amazing nuance that can be achieved by, you know, allowing yourself a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do. I would like to believe and feel that I do have like a realistic, grounded positivity while embracing, oh yeah, that was heartbreaking. That was difficult. And yeah, we can love, like I mean, as you know, and you teach it in Vagrant and the White Book, talks about how, you know, you got cancer. Yay, that's a miracle. It's a wonderful thing. Like, because you can learn from it and grow from it. Oh, someone died. You know, it sucks. But there's always a gift, and it's always everything is helping us wake up. And when we finally are able to embrace the contrast and whatever we define as negative or bad, as like, oh no, I created this, and this is helping me bring more love and light to planet Earth. And that's how you can start embracing all the drama and negativity out there and turn it into gifts. Like Bashar has that one quote that's so good, to paraphrase, about if you look for the gift or the positive in any situation, you'll spend the rest of your life opening gifts. And it's like, yes, but it's not always easy to do.
Right. For sure. For sure. But that is part of your mission, right? To bring more light to the world. And so what are the ways that it's come through you? I'm going to say that it's been inspired through you to share that with the world.
Thanks. Because I did improv comedy and I got into storytelling and even stand-up comedy, early on when I started teaching metaphysics, and I had a membership a long time ago, and I was doing live workshops, I was taking games and concepts from improv and incorporating them into metaphysics. And one of the tools that I developed is called That's Right. Because as we know, affirmations are a thing, and there's a lot of positive stuff about there. Yes, affirmations are good. Then there's, all the affirmations are crap. You're just deluding yourself. And we know scientifically now that you can literally rewire your brain. And every thought changes the wiring of your brain. And so if you think more optimistic thoughts, not trying to sugarcoat everything, but just more optimistic. There's a solution. I'm on the path. I can figure this out. Like thoughts that are general. And so a tool that's taught in improv comedy is called That's Right. Because when you have new improvisers and they're on stage for the first time and they have to make up a story, they can get deer in the headlights. And so one of the tools was whatever the person says, you say that's right and add information. So if me and you are on stage, Jessie, and I say, hey, look, there's a spoon on the ground, you say, that's right. That's my favorite spoon. And it makes everything taste amazing. And then I would say, that's right. Last time I used that spoon, I ate broccoli, but it tasted like chocolate. And then that's right. And then you agree and build, it's also called yes-anding. Yes, you agree to what's been offered, and you add information. And I was like, oh, well, for helping people tell a new story, because people get caught in their reality, and you hear people say, well, just tell a new story. And it's like, well, that's not easy for a lot of people just to tell a new story, because we're so got to keep it real. So when you say, that's right, I can tell a new story. And you start each sentence with the words, that's right, and it builds momentum. And then you get to 68 seconds of holding a positive story and a focus. Literally, your point of attraction, your frequency changes in as little as 68 seconds, thanks to the teachings of Abraham Hicks saying, all it takes is 68 seconds of a pure positive thought. That equals 2 million man-hours, 2 million action hours. But most people suck at holding a positive focus or energy for 68 seconds. It's like, It's almost impossible now. And
it's
so,
true.
Like,
Any
focus. I know. It's, yeah. So you say, like, all right, so I want to feel better about myself and my situation. So I'd say, that's right. I'll figure this out. That's right. I'm good at turning the negatives into positives. That's right. I always find a gift if I look for it. That's right. I'm good at making the best of everything. That's right. I can think thoughts that feel good. That's right. I like thinking thoughts that feel good. That's right. I am going to figure this out and get through this. That's right. I'm making progress. That's right. And you build and build and build. And then all of a sudden now your energy's changed. You fired and wired those thoughts. Now those thoughts become easier because you're laying down new neural networks. And so like every week in my Manifestors Cafe, we always do 68 seconds of that's rights, or 68 seconds of thank yous, or 68 seconds of something. This week we're doing the quote from Abraham, I'm source energy in a physical body and I get what I want. It's like, all right, say that 10 times. I'm source energy in a physical body and I get what I want. Yeah. And you say it and feel it and you're like, that's right. I am source energy in a physical body and I do get what I want. And I just got to start believing it and let it be easy and stop trying so hard. That's right. I'm letting it be easy. That's right. I'm going with the flow. That's right. I'm getting good at this. And so it's one of the tools that comes from improv
Sure.
that I incorporate into my teachings and coaching and all the things.
I love it. I love it because it doesn't take you needing to do anything, needing to buy anything, needing to be any different than you are. And you can start wherever you're at. And it's definitely something I'm going to integrate more often. I think that is a great thing. Even just putting a timer on your phone for, the 68 seconds if you need to do it like that and go like, okay, this is my challenge. I'm just going to be in this space where I'm practicing this particular thing for 68 seconds. It's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and the art of going general too, because we make the mistake of trying to get too specific too fast, and just general well-being. It's working out. It's okay to have bad days. It's not a big deal. I'm making progress. I'm learning. I'm growing. And just soothing, like those soothing thoughts, just to feel better in the moment, and not try to have all the answers right now, because you can't. You just got to be in this moment.
For sure. And even that statement, that's right. It's okay to have a bad day. And then you can even jump to, that's right. There were a couple times when I found something funny today. That's right. It wasn't all bad today, and it really does become easier as you get more general. You can get to these spaces where you're like, wow, I can now see I was framing it that way in the whole time. Really, today was pretty good. There are certain things that did happen. You can work your way up that scale. Because it is like Abraham says, you can't get here from, you can't get there from here. You got to slowly allow yourself to get into that new vibration. So you're Mr. Vibration, and you have your Manifestors Cafe. Tell us a little bit more about that. What is that? That's I'm super curious about that. How does that work out?
Yeah, we do calls once a week, and it's, I call it the Manifestors Cafe because, of course, people can, you get what that is. It's a collective community of people who are into manifesting and law of attraction. But my big new twist has been, let's get away from manifesting, even though it's called the Manifestors Cafe. But it's not about manifesting. It's because it's about your state of being. Because manifesting is automatic, right? It's as easy as breathing. We're always manifesting. But what we want to focus on, because that's not the real target. And it's okay, I've been saying it, I'm a manifester, I manifested this, I manifested that. But graduating from that level of thinking and going, wait a minute, it's really about being a deliberate creator. That's what the cafe is about. Like deliberately telling a new story, deliberately choosing thoughts that feel good, deliberately getting control of your emotional state of being, because your state of being is determining what's you're attracting or pushing away. So really the focus is teaching everybody in the cafe how to be a deliberate creator as opposed to a default creator.
It's really cool. I like that. And you get to meet and interact with people, and they all get to benefit from this reshifting of their sense of empowerment.
Yeah. And I'm always coming up with new tools and working on existing tools that we have. Like another tool I like to do often is, and we can even do this now, is you think of in the past 24 hours or 72 hours, like what were all the things that went well, things that have gone well for you? Because 1,000 things could go wrong today, but if you focus on the one thing that's working, one thing that's feeling good, that changes your state of being, your signature frequency, and you can come into alignment with the solutions and opportunities that are always there. So what I'll do is I'll have them for 60 seconds replay all the good things that have happened in their mind this week. And it's a muscle. You get good at focusing on the good things, because so often we're so wired to, here's all the things that didn't go well this week. Here's all the things I didn't get done. But it's a deliberate, right? Being a deliberate creator to focus deliberately on, all right, I'm going to take 60 seconds, put it in the chat box, tell me what went well this week, and visualize it and play it over and over and over in your mind. Like Wednesday night, I went to this big event in downtown Boulder, and it was a concert and dancing and music. And I just had so much fun running into friends and getting hugs and high fives and dancing. And this girl, she passed out and I caught her so she didn't fall. Okay. It was like I saved her life. And it was like, yeah, she was definitely tripping on something. And I could tell, I was like, she's not well. And I was talking to her friend. I was like, she's going to pass. I think she's about to pass. And I grabbed her, and sure enough, she passed out.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I got you. It's okay. She was okay. She came back around.
Good.
But, focusing on all the good things that are happening in your life. Like right now, the listeners listening to this, and think of the good things that have happened this past week that you can feel good
even
about.
pop them
And
in
it's
the
like
comments right
magnify
now.
those.
You can interact with this. It's not live, but pop it in the comments right now. If you take this moment, pause the video, take 60 seconds and figure out, the good things that happened today. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always there, and the universe wants to give you more, and it's so, it's like it wants to give you more. It wants to give, but the universe can only give you what you're the vibration of, and that's why having these tools, and it does take daily practice. It really does. It is a daily showing up. Every day is a blank slate. Let's build the momentum from yesterday and last week and last month, but it does take that consistent talking yourself into a better state of being, telling a better story. And the biggest thing now that I'm finding is being less reactive to what is reality. Just being less reactive. Observe it, but don't absorb it. You don't have to absorb all the pain and suffering that other people are going through. Observe it. Yeah, they're on their path. They've got their their spirit guides, their higher self is helping them. They're figuring it out just like you're figuring out. So send them love and light, see them working through the problem, but you don't have to take on everybody's pain and emotion and drama.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All of that, that's a behavior that is misinformed. We believe that, we have to be feeling that or allowing our vibration to lower to the state of the person we love to show that we love them. Whereas the reality is in unconditional love, your source, let's think about your source energy or your higher self, whatever you want to call it, never lowers to your lower vibration. It always loves you, though. It's always right there with you. It's not leaving the room. It's not going anywhere. But if you're choosing to get into sort of self-pity or, forgetting how divine you are, your source energy is not going to go with you. And that is what negative emotion is. It's you feeling, oh my God, they didn't come. It didn't come down to this level with me. So it's pretty amazing to know what unconditional love actually is. And it doesn't mean lowering your vibration. And as you said, you don't put your head in the sand. You observe. You're informed. So you can make a better, more informed decision about certain things and how you can help. And you can allow yourself to be inspired to help in certain ways or to help make changes to the world that you want to see. But I think that era of us going into pity or into blame, which is basically two sides of the same coin, is coming to an end. At least I'd hope that it is, because it hasn't really served.
Yeah, and that I love how Abraham Hicks in the recent year or two has been really strong, and I think Vagrin says this as well, is that when you're feeling negative emotion, you're literally lying to yourself because your inner being is not joining you in your perspective or your thoughts, and that's why you feel the disconnect. So it's giving you that, it's giving you instant feedback that you're kind of on the raw and ragged edge of believing in a story or the victimhood or whatever, and your inner being's not joining you in that. And it's like, wow, okay, I'm lying to myself. That's why I feel this negative emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it often does come up in channeling sessions that Vyrene will be like, we have no doubt in you. Like, you're so arrogant because you're lying to yourself. They never say it in that way, but this is the energy that I feel when I'm in the passenger seat there. I feel this energy of them going, you have so much arrogance that you're putting yourself in a position of thinking you're less than the greatness that you are, which is really interesting and paradoxical. It's almost like you have such deep knowing that you're a creator and that you're infinite, that you've decided to create the most absurd thing possible, which is that you're hopeless or that you're powerless. It's really the most insane thing you could possibly create. And you're that powerful that to be allowed to do it. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And how you're like that negative emotion is just that. I love how Abraham's like, it's a gas gauge, right? It's the gas gauge in your car. It's just letting you know you're on E. We're not joining you in that thought. Don't turn the emotion into something massive and then define it. Because the other mistake we make is we think we are our emotions, right? We started running emotional patterns. And so we run in a pattern of frustration. We run a pattern of overwhelm or not good enough. And so we feel it. So therefore we think it's real. Like this happened with a client. They were thinking that she was telling me, she feels like she's not going to get through this difficult time. She feels like it's the truth and it's not going to work this time. And she just got lucky before, and this time it's not going to happen. And she said, see, because I feel it and I think it, therefore it's true. It's like, no, it's the opposite. You're believing in a lie, and that's why you feel the negative emotion, because you're buying into the lie. And that's not how your higher self sees you. So I'd ask her the question. I said, how does your higher self see you? She's like, oh, I don't know. I never thought of that. It's like, yeah, when you're in your negative situation, ask, how does Source see this? How does God see this?
Yeah.
Because they have a very different perspective and story on it. And when you see it through their eyes, it's like, oh, you're beautiful, you're divine, you're on the path, you're learning what you don't want, you're learning what you do want, you're learning that those thoughts don't serve you. That's why they feel like crap when you think them and believe them and perpetuate them.
Yes. So the interesting thing that I'm thinking as you're saying that, right, is that people like you are needed, right? Because if I were to have a conversation with Vagrian even, okay, and Vagrian would be wanting to share that same information that you just shared, like their perspective, they wouldn't even share it in the same way that you shared it. You're sharing it with this like, hey, wake up, like, you can do this enthusiasm because you're from the human perspective. You know on your own skin that you could do it. Whereas Vagrian would be like, it's up to you. This is the clarity, but there's no urgency from from that human aspect of self that goes like, you can live a better life. Vagrian would be like, you can live a better life or not. It's fine, right? But sometimes we do need a little bit of that, cheerleading and kicking the butt, because Source won't even do that. They won't even deny us of our decision to experience it however we decide to experience it. That's how much they're on our side. They're like, you want to be in the pit of suffering? We love you. Like, we will hold you in the pit of suffering. It's fine, as long they'll keep making you feel bad. But until you decide that the feeling bad is like, oh, I can decide anytime I want to, work my way into a better feeling state. They're just going to be like, yep, cool. We're good. We're good with your choices. We love your choices. Whereas, people like you, people like me, when we're like coaching or we're trying to encourage people to get to that space of, get the ball rolling of their state of being, because it can require a little bit of pushing or tough love, so to speak, at times, where you're going, hey, there's another option. There's an alternative. Check it out. So I love that. I love that comes through so strongly with you. It's great.
Yeah. Thank you for that distinction and really highlighting how Source, like all of them, Abraham and Source and Bashar and Vagrin, that's why we need the humanness, the blending of the physical being human with the non-physical, and to be able to use those words of encouragement to say, and to say, like, I've had to say this to my clients and to myself going through my own shit of like, Andy, why are you playing the victim in this situation? Do you like playing the victim? Is this what you signed up for, Andy? You really want to be the victim to this person or these thoughts? Like, come on,
exactly.
You can do better than this.
Yes.
And then you're like, all right, I am playing the victim. Oh, because I believe it serves me in some way, shape, or form. Or it's like, oh, this is bullshit. I don't want to play the victim in my own story. I'm creating all of this, and I'm going to choose to be the victim?
That's right.
Because of what that person said? Like, get out of here. No.
Yeah.
So one of the tools I use is stop, cancel, clear, get the fear or get the negativity out of here. So like, there have been times in my life, even this year, where a situation happened with somebody and I felt like, I can't believe they're thinking of me in that light. I can't believe they said that. I'm like, what? And so I was really annoyed. And then I found myself going, wait a minute, why are you, like, who cares? Like, that's just their perspective. It's ridiculous. And you're going to let their thoughts about you. And I'm like, right, that's just how they're seeing it. That's not the truth.
Yep.
And I would have to tell myself in the morning, okay, Andy, today you're not going to, if you go there, you're going to say stop, cancel, clear, get the fear, get the F, get that story out of here. And you're going to remind yourself, you're not playing the victim here. You've worked through it. You don't need to rehash it. Let that shit go. And, there's so much magic happening. Focus on, make another video, turn this into a talk. It's just like, there's so much more magic happening. And why am I giving that my energy and attention? It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. And energy and attention really is the currency of our current civilization. not only, it always has been our only actual resource. Your time, your energy, your focus are really your only resources, because money can come and go. It's not a real thing. Those three things are actually pertain to you directly, and you do have direct control over them. So that's your resource bucket, right, for your life. And we're in a position now where we're, as a collective, at this point where if we can really recognize, and this happens individual per individual, right? So if anyone listening to this can recognize that every time you're investing your energy in something like that, if you just take the minute to really claim it back and go, I could invest my energy in worrying or fretting or thinking about that problem or, getting into the drama, or I can simply put that on pause. Like you said, stop, right? Reclaim that energy and be really, for however much angry you were at that person, right? That is currency. It's like, take that energy and you can do stuff with it. You can actually even visualize it as like, no, I'm going to take that and I'm going to invest it in this other thing, whether it's service to others, whether it's practicing more self-love, giving yourself more attention. Anytime you're able to grab your focus back and your energy back, we're really, like you said, really unbelievably powerful creators. And we have so much ability right now and so much also freedom to create, so many things that were unavailable to even, someone 20 years ago. We now have this availability to touch so many people so quickly that it's really a shame every moment you bother thinking about what someone else is thinking of you is just a wasted moment of that amazing creation that you can be building.
Yeah, focus is one of my favorite things to talk about. And pretty much in every program and book and ebook I've written, I always talk about how focus is like everything. Your ability to focus on what's right or what's wrong is always in the moment. And we want to get really good at focus, because what you focus on, you're going to feel, and how you feel is how you attract. And you're going to focus on what you value. So if you value money, then you're going to focus a lot on money. If you value health and energy, if you value feeling good, like one of the things I'm always stressing is based from Abraham, is like nothing is more important than feeling good. You really, really have to make that a priority. And when you go from default creator to deliberate creator, one of the first things that you do is you become a master, at least you try to master your focus. Like, I do not watch the news. I just can't. You get sucked into all the drama of the world, and you feel hopeless. You feel like the world's coming to an end. You lose your inspiration and magic. You feel like, well, why bother? Look what's happening. So focus equals feeling, and how you feel is how you attract. And you have to care about how you feel. Feeling good has to become a priority. That's another way to know that you've gone from a default creator into being a deliberate creator, because you really work on focusing on the good. It's not saying you deny, like you see it. I love how Tony Robbins says, see it as it is, but then see it better than it is. So you're seeing reality as it is, but then it's like, okay, I know it can be better. I know my health could be better. My relationship could be better. My bank account could be better. And so if you focus on the good and the magic that's available, the universe will show you more and more. And like you said, there's more opportunities now for communicating and connecting and selling products. And I mean, we're in the creator economy. I mean, millions of people now are making money online that has never existed before. This creator economy is incredible. And if you're focusing on the opportunities, focusing on the good, you're going to attract and see more of it. And your numbers are going to get bigger. Your following is going to get bigger. Everything's going to happen just because of your determination to feel good and to focus on what's good, because you get more of it.
So what would you say to someone, that you're coaching or in a program who says to you, well, I want to make my well-being my top priority, but it's going to cost me too much. Now, I know that that's an interesting thing, right? Because there's this perception that if I'm going to do what feels good to me, if I'm going to make my well-being the top priority, I'm going to lose a whole bunch of relationships because I'm not going to be doing this, that, or the other thing that wasn't feeling good anymore. I'm going to lose, a whole bunch of money because I'm going to leave that job that doesn't feel good. And so I'm going to go off and do something else. So I won't have my income and stuff like that. So how do you get people over that hump of this belief that feeling good is is dangerous or it's expensive. Because I do come across this so often. People will not follow their dreams because they're terrified that they're going to lose that mediocre relationship, or they're going to lose that, relationship at the country club that, was a 20-year-long friendship where they didn't feel good in that in the first place. So what would you say in that case?
Yeah, the pain of staying the same and growing into something unknown. And so really, I've had clients to go through that. We all have our own personal growth, like we're letting go of the old and stepping into something new, and it's scary because it's the unknown. But the unknown is your friend. The unknown is where the passion is, the magic is. And it's really, there's a great quote out there. There's many of them about, when the flower can no longer remain a bud, and there's just so much pain of living the way you're living because you've got the job title, the fake friends, but it's nice, right? Good is the enemy of great. I've got it good, but I know it could be great. So good becomes the enemy of great. And to get over that, have got to, that's where you're going to go through your dark night of the soul. You're going to lose a lot of friends. You're going to lose money. And you've got to be willing to know that, you're made for more. You're built for more. It's time you've outgrown this lifestyle. And that's where, coaching is so critical, to have somebody there each week to get you through all the doubts and fears that's going to come up. I don't have one's, here's the secret, but it's that desiring to, I want to know more. I want to become bigger. I want to, you're just your soul is calling you to grow. It's the classic hero's journey, the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy is in this little town and, there's the call to adventure, something she wants more. She's called to adventure. The tornado, she tries to hold on, but the tornado, rips her apart. She ends up in this new world, new friends, and, she's on the hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell writes about. And so knowing, sometimes I think having that perspective of, I'm a character on a hero's journey and I'm being called to something bigger, and I can play small, but eventually playing that, I got it good, don't rock the boat, it just will eventually become so uncomfortable that you're thrown into the other world. You can go kicking and screaming, or you can say, I have to make some tough decisions. And that's why, you have coaching and podcasts and a new year, a new you, getting clear on the vision, having someone kind of bridge that gap, because there's where you are to where you want to be. There's always a gap.
Yeah.
And it's how you feel about the gap. We're learning how to close the gap, and you do that. Another tool I use is called Acing the Gap. So ACE is an acronym, and A stands for appreciation, C stands for celebration, and E stands for enthusiasm or expectation. So when we're closing the gap, okay, what can I appreciate right now? Right? It goes back to everyone's going to hear it 1,000 times on every podcast, on every book. Gratitude, appreciation. Yeah. You've got to cultivate those emotions. Celebrating the progress, celebrating that you now got more clarity on who you want to become and what you can do. And then E, having that enthusiasm and just the general expectation that it's going to work, that you're going to find a way. That's where telling the story. I'll figure this out. I know I'm on a path. My spirit guides are with me. I can start a new life. It's okay to start over. Never mind what other people think. I'm doing this for me. This is what my heart's wanting me to do. It's going to be a great story when I get on the other side.
Yeah,
I'm an example for other people. This kind of story and acing the gap is definitely a tool to kind of get you into the new world where then you will attract the right people. And I love in Wizard of Oz how they attracted, there's three characters, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion, and they all want emotions, right? They want to be smart. They want to have heart. They want to overcome their fear. And so we're all, a character on this story. And sometimes I think when you see the bigger picture I think Vagrant talks about this in the White Book of seeing yourself as a character in a story. It just can help you go, all right, there are resources. Everybody's in my movie. If I think better thoughts, I'll attract better people. And I'll get answers to solutions, answers to problems. So Yeah, there's a lot there.
So in that analogy, then Toto is the life coach, correct?
Right. Toto is the life
Leading
coach.
everybody into trouble, right? Because isn't it his fault in the beginning why she's even in that situation? She's losing her dog and then all the chaos ensues. Yeah, there you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. It's amazing how like we have so many of these metaphors and analogies that life is like a movie. Life is like, a marathon. Life is like a book. We're walking into the next best chapter of our life. And so for somebody going through this right now, you'd want to say something like, yeah, I am walking into the next best chapter of my life. And it's okay to walk into the next best chapter. And it's okay to let go of that old identity. Because one of the things that keep us stuck is our identity. We're so attached to our personality and our identity, and we get stuck in a personality. And your personality, as Dr. Joe Dispenza said, creates your personal reality. So you have to change your personality. You have to let go of all the labels you've put on yourself. I'm not this, I'm not that, I can't do this, I'm not good with this. It's like you gotta have that growth mindset and allow yourself to discover who you really are. It's about discovering yourself, creating yourself, which is so exciting.
I think that's really wonderful. And I think that, it's people like you that blaze the trail for people to, go, okay, yeah, I can do it. And that's really amazing. So I do ask all my guests, what does the word mystic mean to you? What is a mystic?
Yeah, it's that, mystique, mysterious, and a mystic. They can see into probable realities, and a guide, a mystic. Yeah, that's a word that I don't hardly ever use, mystic. How do you define mystic?
I think that we're all, on some levels, dabbling in the mystic, in being the mystic, right? Because I see it as that being that allows themselves to relax into the opening of that doorway that's naturally there for them, that doorway to possibility and curiosity and what if, and what's beyond what I can currently see and feel and taste and hear and touch, and just allowing of the miracle of our existence to expand past what we currently know, knowing that what we can perceive of is already a miracle and that flows all the way beyond it. So walking from that space or being from that space, I would consider you someone who's somewhat of a mystic as well, because you're allowing yourself to live into the space that's beyond what is just presented on that material level. So I think that's how I would define it.
Yeah. So with that, I love that because, right, we're all mystics, and we're allowing ourselves to go beyond what is, see it better than it is, to imagine a new life or a new world, and then bring that into a physical manifestation. And yeah, we're all poets, artists, dancers, mystics, creatives. I just love that the creator economy is being born, and that we're all first and foremost creators. We came to create. That's what has never existed before, taking thought where it's never been before. Like, how exciting is that? And we truly are on the leading edge. We are on, and I like how Abraham jokes, the bleeding edge, because we're bleeding our hearts out. We're making it so hard and feeling all these negative emotions. It's part of the journey. It's part of the human experience. And we wouldn't want it to just be all rainbows and unicorns, because that would get boring really quick. And so we want the mystery, like Vagrant's saying. You don't know what Vagrant's like. We can see it all from all the perspectives, but you in the story don't know what's around the corner. You don't know who you're going to meet tomorrow that's going to change your life. You don't know what book or video you're going to listen to or podcast you're going to listen to, that an idea is going to click and your whole life changes. And now you go down a new path, right? You're walking down a new street, walking into the next best chapter of your life. And wow, it's because you followed that impulse from your higher self to listen to Jessie's podcast. And you're like,
Exactly.
Boom, it clicked. I got it.
Yeah. So speaking of creators and people following their impulses, what is it that you're most exciting about creating right now? And where can people find out more about that and everything that you're offering to people and all of your gifts?
Yeah, right now I'm really excited about creating the Deliberate Creators Formula. Like, what is it? How do you really become a deliberate creator? How do you graduate from manifesting to being a deliberate creator? And I'm putting together that'll be a masterclass online course. I've got my weekly calls in the Manifestors Cafe, and I'm going to be broadening that, maybe switching over to a new platform on Skool, Skool. That's a big up-and-coming new platform. And making videos. This starting now, I want to make videos for YouTube. I mean, really fun, educational videos that breaks all this down in a fun, practical way that teaches it so that even advanced manifestors and beginning manifestors will go, I get it now. That's what I got to do. Okay. So really, like, I'm going to demystify all of the spiritual woo-woo stuff and really make it practical and fun so that anybody can really get it and start practicing these concepts without being overwhelmed with so much information that's now available, because now people are just drowning in information. So I want to make it more fun, more practical, and make really awesome videos and grow the membership.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, wonderful. What else do you have to share with everyone that you would love for that random person who's just been waiting to hear what you're about to say to hear?
Right. I want to say, hey, I wrote a free ebook. It's awesome. It's the 5 mistakes that manifestors make trying to manifest success and how to fix these mistakes. And the 5 mistakes are, number 1, we let what is reality hold us hostage. We're ignoring our emotional guidance. We have an inconsistent alignment practice. Dealing with other people's BS is a huge one. And then the 5th mistake that we all make is being our own worst enemy. And so you can go to andydooley.com, and on my website it says free book. And you can download this book. You can read the whole thing in 20 minutes. It's a PDF. And I really feel like that would help anybody stop making these 5 critical mistakes that we all make unconsciously most of the time. And once you're aware of these mistakes, and I give you tools on how to fix them, then you will definitely graduate from being a manifestor, spiritual woo person to understanding what it means to be a deliberate, like really, we got to be deliberate about our thoughts, our energy, what we're putting our focus on, because we're creating all of it.
Beautiful. Thank you for offering that.
Yeah.
I will put the link in the show notes and the comments of this so people will be able to find it easily and click right through. Andy, it's been awesome, and I can't wait to see you again soon. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll see you in March in Colorado, so it's going to be super fun. Okay. Ciao, Bella.
So that's a wrap on this episode of Some Kind of Mystic. I hope you loved this conversation with Andy Dooley as much as I did. His energy, humor, and deep wisdom make manifestation feel so accessible. And if you want more, don't forget to grab his free ebook, The 5 Mistakes Manifestors Make and How to Fix Them, over at andydooley.com. And now I have an exciting invitation for you. If today's conversation lit you up, imagine spending an entire day in an intimate, high-vibe gathering with both Andy and myself, experiencing deep teachings, personal breakthroughs, and direct channeling from Vagrian. We're thrilled to invite you to the next Vagrian Intensive on March 22nd in Boulder, Colorado. This full-day event will be hosted in the cozy, sacred space of one of our incredible community members' homes, making it even more personal and powerful experience. Andy will be joining us once again, bringing his signature blend of motivation, manifestation, magic, and fun, and I'll be channeling exclusive transmissions from Vagrian on new levels of connection in human relationships. Something I know many of us are feeling called to explore right now. You'll also have the chance to ask your personal questions directly to Vagrian and connect deeply with like-minded seekers. And because you're a listener of the Some Kind of Mystic podcast, I have a special gift for you. Use the coupon code SKOM10 at checkout and get 10% off your ticket. You can sign up right now at www.jpherman.com/events, or just check the show notes for the link, or head to my website to reserve your spot. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, and for being a part of this incredible journey. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast or leave me a message or a comment below. And stay tuned for more episodes featuring amazing guests, deep conversations, and mystical insights right here on Some Kind of Mystic. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, and keep creating your own magic. See you soon.
Okay, here we go. You'll figure out how to edit it in. All right, so here's my inspirational, funny infomercial for manifesting a soulmate. So, like a lot of people, I've struggled with manifesting my soulmate. I've tried everything, past life regressions, chakra alignment, but I have finally discovered the secret to manifesting your soulmate. If you want to manifest your soulmate, this is how you do it. It's called lowering your standards. With lowering your standards, you will radically increase the likelihood of manifesting your soulmate who is a hot mess and wants you to go to therapy. With lowering your standards, not only will you manifest your soulmate, but a roommate who never pays rent. Say goodbye to high expectations and hello to a soulmate who thinks foreplay is putting on deodorant. Need someone to text you 17 times a day? With lowering your standards, that's guaranteed. Try lowering your standards today, because manifesting your soulmate and blaming them for all your problems is true love. Order now and receive your free book, How to Lower Your Standards Without Feeling Guilty. Call 1-800-HOT-MESS.